Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Clarendon man shot dead in Call Pasture. One man was shot dead and another escaped injured during an attack by gunmen in Rhinebury district in Clarendon on Friday afternoon. Dead is 23-year-old Nicardo Reed, otherwise called Bugo, a resident of Rhinebury district. Police report that around 2:15 p.m., Reed and the other man were in the pasture tending to a herd of cows when they were attacked by three men on foot armed with handguns. Police said the men chased them and opened gunfire, hitting Reed and killing him on the spot. The other man escaped. Reed's body was taken to the Maple Hospital, where it was confirmed dead. 4 9mm spent shells were found by police, who processed the crime scene. Efforts being made to schedule meeting with residents of Portsea following protests about cell tower. Efforts are being made to schedule a community meeting involving residents of Portsea in St. Elizabeth, government agencies, and telecommunications company Flow following Thursday morning's protests by irritated residents about the erection of the cell tower. The placard-bearing resident, some dressed in white, full-body, protective suits, blocked the roadway leading to the cell site and called for the tower to be removed from the community. They claim they were misled into believing that the site was for the pole, not a cell tower, which they claim would have adverse effect on their health. Counsel for the Marysville Division, Leighton Smith, has blamed the situation on bad communication between the relevant authorities and the residents. Mr. Smith said he previously received complaints from residents about the tower and subsequently raised the issue during a meeting of the Planning Committee of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. He said there is some confusion about a stop order issued by the corporation. The same corporation had already granted permission to Flow to erect the tower, as well as confusion about if a permit had been granted by the National Environment and Planning Agency (NEPA). The councillor said the telecommunications company did not adequately discuss the matter with residents prior to the cell site being constructed. Mr. Smith said attempts are being made to hold a meeting with all parties involved to address the residents' concerns.
The problem we are having is that there are some breakdown happening in the field because NEPA gave the go-ahead for it. The fire department gave the go-ahead. The health department gave the go-ahead. And Paris Council made the final arrangement for it. There's no way a cell tower should be built in an area unless NEPA come into the area and have consultation with the residents because it's an environmental issue. Parish Council is also in some state for the blame because I raised the concern at our planning meeting last month and tell them they need to put a stop order and go there and do some more consultation. The 21st of the month I heard that a stop order was placed from the chief engineer officer from the Parish Council on the project and the construction first they continue to work. But when I read what I was on the stop order this morning, it don't make no sense because stop order is saying they stopped their work due to no approval for the Parish Council, and that is not correct because the Parish Council did give the approval for them to go ahead and build after they get the approval from NEPA and the fire department and Minister of Health. What our director of planning is saying is that the consultation that was done by the company that will be doing the cell tower, which is Flow, and that's how it is lined out in the regulation. I am saying that it shouldn't be because if you are the one who are going to do the cell tower and you are the one who go to do the consultation, basically you come out with something that is really positive for you to build a cell tower. So therefore we are asking for some changes to be made to that, although that might have to be a cabinet decision. So they go there and do their consultation and they send in their plan to the Parish Council where they get signatures from the residents around the area that it is okay. Now the residents are saying that they did not know what they signed for, which is their problem. They should not have allowed that to happen, that they sign off on something that they don't know about. So these are the persons who are trying to do the objection to it now.
Medical examiner probing Joe Mercer's death awaiting toxicology report. The Miami-Dade County Medical Examiner Department is awaiting toxicology test result to complete the autopsy to determine the manner and cause of death of reggae artist Joseph Joe Mercer Marley. Joe Mercer, the son of Stephen Marley and grandson of reggae legend Bob Marley, died on December 27 in Miami-Dade County. He was 31. The medical examiner is awaiting toxicology test result, which can take a few weeks depending on workload. Chris Thomas, a detective in the public information sector of the Miami-Dade Police Department, told reporters. Reports are that officers from the Pinecrest Police Department found Marley unconscious inside his vehicle at a shopping center's parking lot. Paramedics at the scene later determined that he died. The Miami-Dade Police Department's Homicide Bureau is leading the investigation. No foul play was suspected. Western Regional Health Authority denies claims of hiring disagreement between Pool of Doctors and Conway Regional Hospital. The Western Regional Health Authority, WRHA, has denied claims of a hiring disagreement between a pool of doctors and the Conway Regional Hospital. In a release on June 6, the opposition People's National Party said the dispute stemmed from a career advertisement published in a local paper about 1 month ago by the WRHA. The opposition explained that despite the advertisement which sought the services of 10 Grade 1 medical officers to meet the hospital's need, the hospital's management reportedly rejected for the applications. However, the WRHA's regional director, Sir Andrew Sinclair, told reporters that doctors have been shortlisted for hire and it's expected that by next week, those doctors will be employed.
Nothing like that of the sort is happening in the Western region, and that's what I can speak to. Nothing at all of that sort, okay? There have been advertisements, and we have gotten response with applicants, and we are shortlisting and going through, and by next week, those doctors will be on board. It's about 30 doctors applied for about 9 or 10 positions, and we're going through right now and selecting people as we speak. So by next week, those will be notified and the process will continue and people will be on board.
Jamaica's Teachers Association to meet with Finance Ministry next week regarding compensation review. The Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, says it is to meet with the Finance Minister next week, Tuesday, January 10, to hear a full response of concerns supporting the government's compensation review. There have been ongoing negotiations between the nation's teachers and the Finance Ministry about a suitable compensation package, and it is hoped that next week's meeting will push negotiations further for teachers. JTA President Lasandra Harrison says the association remains committed to securing the best compensation packages for teachers of all categories.
The Jamaica Teachers Association is in receipt of the anticipated early invitation to return to the negotiating table. The meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. The foundation regarding how teachers will be paid is in the process of being relayed. This is new and will have implications for current practitioners and generations of teachers to come. We return to the table to hear the full response of the Ministry of Finance and Public Service to clarifications made by us in our last meeting. The JTA will continue to be diligent and surgical in this process to ensure all nuances regarding this transition are ironed out, reducing most, if not all, anomalies.
Opposition Senator appeals to Caribbean governments to increase contributions to the University of the West Indies. Opposition Senator Dr. Floyd Morris has made an appeal to various governments across the Caribbean to increase their contributions to the University of the West Indies UWI to allow the institution to function effectively. This, as he says, decreasing contributions have been negatively impacting the operations of the regional institution. Speaking in the Senate on January 6 on the occasion of the university's 75th anniversary, Dr. Morris said contributions have declined by more than a third in recent times. He said government must ensure that university is properly resourced so that it can carry out its mandate, as students across the region are finding it hard to pay fees.
Over the past couple of years, we have seen a decline in contribution from government. And when I speak of this, I'm not speaking of any specific administration because it cuts across administration. To the point where contribution to the institution for the economic cost of students has declined to 38%, moving from 80% in 2009. And it is having a deleterious effect on the financial resources of the university. If the university was to increase tuition fee to students, it would make it very difficult for those students to continue at the institution. So I am making an appeal for government of Jamaica, government of Trinidad and Tobago, government of Barbados, to make sure that their contribution to the institution is remitted on a timely basis, and that for those who have reduced their contribution in terms of economic costs, increase it to a level that will allow the university to function.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the